Welcome to Focus on Liberia. Welcome and welcome to our broadcast. This is Focus on Liberia, and we are broadcasting from Atlanta, Georgia. Today is Tuesday. As you may be aware, it is the hour of politics with me, Anthony Sear, your host. Do us that usual favor quickly. Let's get to business. We have a topic that is politically juicier, and we want to unpack it, break it down, and lay it all on you so that you can be in the know with all the specific details that happen along the way. There has been a journey of a kind, and I have been paying attention from the day the name Nwabudike surfaced in the political landscape of Liberia. I got it all together. I did all my research. My memory is fresh on this one. And so, folks, I want you to stay here. I want you to invite somebody. The name Nwabudike has become a household name in Liberia for many reasons. There are words that have been floating around now associated with this name, Nwabudike. If you want to pronounce it as a Nigerian, it will be Nwabudike. Folks, I'm Anthony Sear, and I'm bringing you yet another exciting edition of the Hour of Politics. Here I focus on Liberia only, where we educate, we elevate, and promote all things Liberia. Let's get to it, folks. Well, at long last, a man called Nwabudike is no longer going to be in the employ of our government. It is important for us to know who this guy actually is, how he started this journey that became somehow chaotic and problematic, that got on the nerves of so many Liberians. How did this guy get into this political love with our president and even our leaders in our country? How? Where did he actually come from? Well, I have all that information. I will not just give it to you hard, I will give it to you analytically. And this is the hour of politics here. I focus on Liberia. Our topic, as you are aware, the rise and fall of Nwabudike, Cllr Austin Ndubuisi Nwabudike. And sometimes he goes with the name Augustine Ndubuisi Nwabudike or Nwabudike. Who is this guy? Why is it that everybody, for the most part, wanted this guy out of our government? Why? I have that information. You can't get it anywhere else other than focus on Liberia, because we are the guys that do all the research and bring you all the facts, and not just giving it to you, giving it to you analytically so you will understand it all. Folks, the rise and fall of Nwabudike. I got it, and let us get started. So let us know who is Nwabudike first of all. If we get to know who is Nwabudike, and then we can give you the rise of Nwabudike, how Nwabudike was able to go through the ranks and files of our institution to the point he became a darling of almost two administrations in the Republic of Liberia. So let's see who Nwabudike is. Let me share with you here quickly. The man Nwabudike, oh, this guy, he's one of a kind. Nwabudike. I got Nwabudike here for you. And folks, here is your man, Nwabudike. There you have it, folks. There you have it. Yeah, it is. Boom. Nwabudike. I know it might be a little difficult for you to read. Let me see if I can make some adjustment here. So there is your man, Nwabudike. Nwabudike he received his LLB from the Louis Arthur Grant School of Law, University of Liberia, and both LLM from a university in Chicago, and he will go to get a master, that is MSc, from the Graduate School of Regional Planning and Public Policy. from the University of Liberia. So what you just saw there is that this man is a lawyer. He has 3 degrees. One is LLB from the Lower Upper Grand School of Law. He got another one which is LLM from a university in the United States, to be specific, in Chicago. And then he went on to get a master's degree from the graduate school at the University of Liberia in regional planning and public policy. So that is our guy educationally. But that is not the one I want to give you. But it was important for me to give you how much of academic credentials that this guy managed to snatch in his academic bag, for which he has been able to land all these lucrative positions in our country. But why also that people are making noise about this guy? There is a reason why this guy, there's so much noise about him. And the reason is Austin Ndubuisi Nwabudike told a story that he having to be a Liberian. That is the story he told. And this story is a story that he has been able to live successfully in Liberia. And because of that story that he is a Liberian, that he had obtained a Liberian citizenship, he has been able to enjoy the privileges thereabout, landing high-profile jobs in our land. Nwabudike will go and do that. And so, folks, Nwabudike, as we know him, when he got appointed, first, that was for him to carry on an investigation into financial misappropriation at the Ministry of Agriculture. He did that piece of job as a Liberian. And then he will go on to get appointed as the head of an investigation into Cllr. He will be appointed again as a Liberian. But I will stop there and then give you why people have been giving all the reasons he should not be occupying those positions. Why did he occupy those positions in the first place? Others are questioning because of some questions with his Liberian citizenship. This guy purported all along that he having to be a Liberian. But let us verify this story that he told that had given him all of these privileges. The story of being a citizen of Liberia. Austin Ndubuisi Nwabudike said that in the early 70s, his father came to Liberia. According to him, his father, who having to be a Nigerian, naturalized as a Liberian citizen. He said because he was born unto this naturalized Liberian father, he being of a Negro descent, has automatically acquired Liberian citizenship by law. But he will go on to say that upon reaching maturity, as required by our law, according to him, he filed for naturalization to become a Liberian citizen. Was he telling the truth? This is the question for which Nwabudike today is the talk of the town. And so Nwabudike, who go on to rise in Liberia. So let us talk about the rise of Austin Ndubuisi Nwabudike. And as I tell how he managed to go through the ranks and files of our institution, I will also be able to tell the pieces of this story, this lie that he told along the way about his Liberian citizenship. The phone lines will be open today and you will be allowed to participate. And so you want to stick around. Folks, Nwabudike is a Nigerian by birth, claimed to have acquired Liberian citizenship through his parents, claimed that upon reaching the age of maturity, he had naturalized. Nwabudike will be appointed, as I said earlier, and will conduct an investigation. The guy who is not a Liberian will be appointed by a Liberian, purported as a Liberian, and conducted an investigation at the Agricultural Ministry about misappropriation there. Fast forward, he was appointed by President George Manawia when George Weah took over to investigate corruption that was reported at Cllr. As some of you are aware, when George Weah took over, there was a global witness report that was released, citing that many of the board of directors at Cllr at the time had allotted to themselves benefits in contravention of the act that created the LACC. In other words, those people, by virtue of their position, were not supposed to get any extraordinary benefit, but they did that. Nwabudike conducted that investigation in a space of 2 weeks. And when he conducted that investigation, those officials, the likes of Amara Kane, and then Christinota, and many others who were board directors, who were giving themselves extraordinary bonuses there, the decision of our president was that those people needed to pay back the money. Information is that many of them might have paid back the money. All right. And so this is how Nwabudike was able to walk away into our government. But it is important for me to tell you, Nwabudike attended the University of Liberia. When he applied as a student at the University of Liberia, he did apply as a Liberian. Nwabudike had to show documentation that he is a Liberian. And on that basis, he entered the University of Liberia, attended the Louis Arthur Grant School of Law as a Liberian. What I'm trying to tell you is that he lied to the University of Liberia that he was a Liberian. And so he graduated and awarded a degree by our university as a Liberian. The rise of Nwabudike. Nwabudike will go upon graduation, will be admitted into the bar, that is the Liberian National Bar Association. That is the umbrella organization of all of the lawyers in our country. To be a member of the National Bar Association in Liberia, one must be a Liberian to be admitted. Nwabudike purported as a Liberian, and he will be admitted into the bar as a Liberian. He did not stop there. He was on the rise. He became a lawyer certified by the Supreme Court of Liberia. In order for the man to get the blessing of the High Court in the land to practice, he needed to demonstrate from all reasonable doubt that he having to be a Liberian. Again, Nwabudike will make his way to the Supreme Court and tell this story about him being a Liberian. And the Supreme Court will give him the legal blessing for him to practice law in our country. Nwabudike was on the rise. He won't stop there. And so Nwabudike was able to represent clients, was able to make arguments into our courts in Liberia. And this was what I want you to know, folks. According to Section 17.1 of our judicial laws, only a Liberian citizen can practice law in Liberia. I repeat, according to section 17.1 of our judicial law, for one to practice law in Liberia, that one must be a Liberian. Nwabudike lied and purported as a Liberian. He was able to show fake citizenship certificate to the High Court, just as he lied to the University of Liberia and lied to the National Bar Association. He will lie to the court, and then he has been practicing law in the land. And those law credentials that and experiences that he acquired that were given him on the basis that he having to be a Liberian, he used those credentials to his advantage. He will go on to be appointed as the boss for GAC, the Good Governance Commission, Nwabudike was appointed at Good Governance Commission. Nwabudike was the one who replaced Dr. Edmund Claudius Sawyer. Folks, this guy who lied about his citizenship, who go on to be appointed to Liberia's Good Governance Commission, headed by Dr. Amos Claudius Sawyer, of all integrity, will be replaced by a fake Nigerian in the person of Austin Ndubuisi Nwabudike or Nwabudike. At that agency, the Good Governance Commission, he did not get confirmation. But yet, he served for some time. And some way, somehow, this guy won some admiration, and Joshua have earned some respect. Some way, somehow, this guy will be appointed to our #1 integrity institution, the LACC. Nwabudike was on the rise. We are giving you the rise and fall of Austin Ndubuisi Nwabudike or Nwabudike. He got that appointment. He landed that prior profile job at our #1 and prestigious integrity institution. A man purporting with a fake Liberian citizenship. He was on the rise. And he was enjoying this train that he was on. His fake citizenship was getting him just about everywhere in the land. He was the darling of the administration. Our record tells us he had no relationship politically, association in no shape and form with the CDC. And I'm glad to report to you, Nwabudike having to be the only official in the CDC government to be appointed 4 different times by Joshua. This guy. Many of you are aware how many folks in the CDC who gave it all, who sacrificed it all, but will be politically ostracized and dies along the wayside. And many of them live without pain today. But somewhere, somehow, this guy purporting in the land as a Liberian, based on fake citizenship credentials that he has acquired fraudulently, will go on to defraud our system and win and earn the respect of our president. And he would appoint him 4 different times. Naming one person in this government that has been appointed 2 or 3 times. You will not find one. I can guarantee you will not find one to be appointed 3 times, except for Nwabudike. But Nwabudike will be appointed 4 different times. I know D. Manswell Kamanya has been appointed 2 times. He was sent to, United Nations as ambassador. Western guy, Finney, who want to become senator for some reason. I don't know. He had a high-profile job, but it's a choice. But President Weah will call D. Maxwell Kamanya to be appointed a foreign minister. So that 2 times. Maybe you will find 1 or 2 persons being appointed 2 times. But this Nwabudike, this guy in a Nwabudike, a purported Liberian citizen, fake Liberian citizen for that matter, as evidence by investigation that was done by the Senate. And the main fact that even, I will get to the immigration, what the immigration said. I will get to what the Justice Minister of Liberia said about this guy. And this guy was on the rise. And our President Weah will have the audacity to appoint Nwabudike while he was still occupying a tenured position. A position, according to my research, that he could have served for 5 years, or that is a 5-year tenure position. The rise and fall of Austin Ndubuisi Nwabudike. And so what I'm telling you is that Nwabudike lied to the University of Liberia, lied to the Bar Association, lied to the Supreme Court, and he made his way through our system and will go on to land all these high-profile jobs as a Liberian. But this is where Nwabudike will get caught. And so let us bring it to you here. Nwabudike, he was never certified. He was on this train to the heights of it all. He was in this political marriage with the president. Whatever this guy had on our president, I can't lay my hand on it. Even folks in the government can't even figure it out. I have always tried to figure things out, but this one was somehow so difficult, to the point that Focus on Liberia have been able to have about 4 different shows. 4 different shows on this guy. We periscope him, we X-ray him, and you name it. And I just hope this is the final chapter of this guy who defrauded our entire system of government, starting from the university to the national bar, to the judiciary branch of government, to the executive branch of government, and then our first branch of government. This guy lied to Joshua, and Joshua would not even recognize that this guy told a lie. He kept this guy on the job for reasons that are unexplainable. This is not mistakable. This act of this guy, Nwabudike, to have defrauded all our institutions, purported as a citizen when he had never been a citizen, when he did not acquire any Liberian citizenship legally, and the one he did show was fake and fraudulent. How did he obtain it? Let's get to it. So that has been the rise of Austin Ndubuisi Nwabudike. So this guy, folks, as he continued on this journey to milking the system, he committed a lot of crimes along the way. And today we are hearing that the president of Liberia reluctantly accepted a resignation from this LACC boss, a purported Liberian citizen, a fake Liberian citizen in Nwabudike. President Weah accepted his resignation after he has reneged the cause of all prominent Liberians, advocates, civil society organizations or institutions or leaders, media institutions who go on to do editorial calling on this president. Even people in his party will post on Facebook that this guy must go. Our president will not act. This guy will show up for confirmation at the Senate. And this time he will be called pens down. And the facts were evidentiary that this guy, the citizenship story that he told was a big black lie. The president, knowing that, after he appointed him to one of our consequential integrity institutions, the National Election Commission, when he got to know that this guy, there was something about him that was not right, he pulled back the nomination. And the main fact that President Weah got to know that there was something wrong about this guy's citizenship. And on that basis, he was able to pull back his nomination to the NEC, the National Election Commission, allowing him to serve at LACC is tantamount to aiding and abetting. Because there was the president who came to the realization that what the Senate has been able to unearth about this guy's citizenship was profound. And this is what makes it profound. During that time, they have to go and search the records at the Liberian immigration. They went to immigration and search. Immigration released a statement that there is no record whatsoever in their system about a Nwabudike obtaining a Liberian citizenship. They search the court records. They won't find it except for a fake Liberian citizenship certificate that he had been using to defraud our system and lie his way through the system. When he was pressed during the confirmation to show this citizenship certificate, he was hesitant. In fact, he did not show it on the day he was pressed, but he was constrained that he needed to bring it. And so the next day, Nwabudike will show up with that fake certificate, and I will show it to you, and we'll do an analysis on that. But let me give you a better picture here. Your question might be, but this guy was appointed on an investigative team to investigate about misappropriation at agriculture ministry, and then appointed again to investigate orders of wrongdoing at NOCA, and then Good Governance Commission, and then LACC, and there was no noise. And this guy will just milk the system dead about, no noise. So why, out of a sudden, is this noise? Because he's been appointed to the National Election Commission. Why? Where is this noise coming from? I mean, as though the one he did at the bar was not alarming, as though securing an appointment from the president on an investigative team was not alarming, and then LACC, as though that too was not alarming. No noise. Those were very much alarming, but there was no noise. So why this time? Because people started smelling something. The election of 2020. 2020, we had referendum on hands. And we also had on our hands the senatorial by-election, 15 counties. And also we had on hand, I think about 3 elections, by-election at a representative level. The 2020 election, many political thinkers felt that it was a lemon test for Liberia. And that election could make or break our democratic path, the path to sustaining the peace, the path to sustaining our democratic progress. People said that election would be able to decide that. And so his appointment raised a lot of eyebrows. Who is this guy? Why is this guy the only one be appointed by the WIA over and over? Why? And so, folks, people started asking questions. Because this election that just passed, the CDC heavily invested everything in it. The CDC had just lost to Darius DeLong 2019. The CDC were bleeding in their nose politically. The CDC accepted the fact reluctantly or in disbelief that how could they actually just lost it in Monserrado County, their stronghold. And so this was a CDC coming back in a consequential election. This was a CDC saying that, look, 2020, we must claim Monserrado. They came up with the mandate, reclaim Monserrado County. So the election was serious. And the opposition, on the other hand, felt that if we are to demonstrate any seriousness, it must be the 2020 election. Folks, the news of 16 billion has wrecked the government reputation. The news of 25 million has wrecked the government reputation. There were protests upon protests about salary delays, many other scandals all over the place. I don't want to bore you with these scandals. That is not what I'm here for today. I am here to give you the rise and fall of Nwabudike. So let me not bore you with the one at the Housing Bank, another scandal. I don't want to talk about that one right now. Let me give this to you. And so the election of 2020 was very, very essential. It was important to the CDC. So the CDC felt that they needed to win in that election bigly, especially in Monserrado County. And so they have everything on the table. Everything on the table also who have included or had included, if they could cheat, they would cheat. And who could have better be the one to navigate them through this path of fraud other than the guy Nwabudike. They looked in their ranks and file and they saw a player, a genius fraudster in a man called Nwabudike. And so he was the one, the president, knowingly, who appointed. to head the National Election Commission. Because with Nwabudike, oh, that brother knows how to go and get. Oh, this is the guy who acquired a law degree as a Liberian when he was never one in the first place, who become member of the bar as a Liberian when he never acquired a Liberian citizenship in the first place, or who show a fake Liberian citizenship and has been living in Liberia. And here's the other piece I'm going to show to you. Can you imagine this guy? Why he had claimed all along that he was a Liberian? He will go and get married, and his marriage certificate will carry a Nigerian. Amen. So CDC in their ranks and file got to know the only one who could do that dirty job for them, a genius fraudster who could cleanly do that job, was Nwabudike. Because the guy is smooth. He has been the only one to milk the system. He has been the only one to defraud all our institutions. And so he was the excellent candidate for the CDC. I know the CDC very well. The 99% of you do. Whatever you think of them, let me report to you that they have political eyes. They've been tested in the wilderness before, so they have political eyes. The sad thing about them, they operate as a clique. They operate as a court. They avoid their best and pull forth the sycophants. That is how come they are shortcutting the change, quote unquote, they fought for. And that is why that change is shortcutting them in no time. And so I will report to you, let them cry their own cry. But fast forward, folks, Nwabudike became the man to do that job. That's why he was appointed. And he will cut pens down. So let me show you some documentary evidence about this guy, Nwabudike. Let's show you Nwabudike citizenship certificate that he has been, using to defraud our system all this time. Let me show it to you, folks. This is Nwabudike citizenship certificate that he acquired fraudulently by lying to the immigration. If you look at, I'm sorry that it's a long time he got it, so it's kind of difficult to read. So I don't care how I make it big here for you. So maybe you can see that one, certificate of citizenship, and you may also be able to see 13 May 1982, Austin Nwabudike. So folks, that is Nwabudike's certificate, and you see a picture of him there on that certificate. So let's talk about the certificates a little bit. Hey, this guy, man. Do you know why he was appointed? Because when it comes to defrauding a system, he's smooth, he's clean, he's a genius when it comes to frauding or defrauding a system. So that was Nwabudike's certificate. So talking about Nwabudike's certificate, let's do some analysis. You see, that was a computerized certificate. In other words, it's a computer-generated certificate. During that time, 1982, if my research is correct, we were using just typewriters in Liberia. We had an electronic typewriter, but an electronic typewriter cannot produce this kind of certificate. Many of you saw the broader typewriter, right? That was the electronic one. The rest of those ones was the manual typewriter. That's how I learned how to type. So you can't beat me on that one. So where did this guy get this computerized citizenship certificate from in 1982? And according to our laws, to apply for a Liberian citizenship through naturalization, An individual must be 21 years old. That's what the law said. Or that's what the law says. But this guy, knowingly, who go and tell the Liberian people that he got naturalized and he put it on his certificate 1982. Now, Austin Ndubuisi, to tell you that this guy is a fraudster, he had 4 different birthdays. How did that happen? How did we get to know? Mr. Nwabudike, his essential documents, his marriage certificate, his passport, his citizenship certificate, his documentation from schools and all year, he had 4 different birthdays. Birthday number 1, he said in one of his documents that he was born 1960 on October the 2nd. On one of his documentation, he said he was born 1963. I have the information here. Okay, date of birth. He said he was born, the first date of birth was October 19, 1960, on one of his documentation or his essential documents. On another, he said he was born October 2nd, 1963. He continued to, this guy, that's why we named this show. I mean, the topic here is the rise of the guy have been what going up. So 1960, October 19, 1960, that was one of the birthdays that he gave. The other is October 2nd, 1963. Then on another documentation he had October 2nd, this time he just changed the year, 1965. And then on the 4th one, he changed the year again, October the 2nd, 1969. This is a lawyer, folks. This is a lawyer acting in this manner, shape, and form. And when these documents were laid before the Senate during the confirmation hearing, they quickly got to know that the guy who claimed to have, the guy who said that he was born in 19, because I'm just confused now with these dates. I don't know which one to call. Who was born 1965, 1969, 1963, and 1960. This guy actually was 17 years old when he got his Liberian citizenship. That was a crime by itself. And on his citizenship certificate, for the picture of Nwabudike, maybe I will share it on our page for many of you to see it. But, in the past, many of you might have seen it. The face that I see is not the face of a 17-year-old man or young man or boy. His face was the face of a full-grown man. Maybe Nwabudike was trying to reduce his age, but he needed to show a picture that would look like him, and he got caught many years later at the Senate. So Nwabudike, if he claimed he was born 1965 and he got naturalized in May 13 of 1982, it means he was 17 years old, so he lied. This guy in Nwabudike is a fraudster. And that is why many people say we cannot allow this guy to be confirmed. And so the question is, who all can we give some credit to here? Who all can we give some credit to here? Are there some people that deserve some credit? Nwabudike will go on to resign. And let me show you here quickly. Let me show you here quickly. Nwabudike will go on to resign, and even the resignation is not immediate. This guy, there is it, folks. The President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency Dr. George Manawiya, accepted the resignation of Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission's chairperson, Cllr. Ndubuisi Nwabudike. President Weah accepted this guy's resignation. And they say the resignation takes immediate effect February 26th. So as of February 26th, he will not be on the job. He will be no more. But get what is happening now? Nwabudike, he's trying to leave. He's being called pants down. This guy, Nwabudike, was expelled by the bar. He was expelled by the bar. And when he got expelled by the bar, to show how desperate this guy has been, to show that this guy, he was just milking the system and he just felt that he could just keep having his way, he won't stop there. Let me show you the newspaper headline. Nwabudike fights for survival. When the National Bar Association investigated him and expelled him, the guy did not stop there. The guy went to the Supreme Court. He filed a petition for the Supreme Court to reverse or cancel, nullify, whatever language you may want to use, his expulsion from the bar, because he understood that the fact that he was expelled from the bar, he could not practice law in Liberia. And so this guy will go to the Supreme Court and file a petition to undo his expulsion. But guess what happened? In no time, Nwabudike will withdraw his petition. I don't know who talked to him. And when he sent that, when he filed that petition, at some point during the fight, the Justice Minister of Liberia, Councillor Frank Musa Din, said he has no history, no record, no knowledge of Nwabudike being a Liberian citizen. So that was the Justice Minister, the Attorney General, the Chief Prosecutor of the Republic of Liberia, who by default is also like a legal advisor to the president, saying this guy is fake, this guy is not a Liberian, there's no record anywhere to authenticate his Liberian citizenship, and indirectly saying he should not be occupying that position. And yet our president will maintain him. And so when Nwabudike saw all that, he saw some fire coming. So he withdrew his petition from the Supreme Court. That is your good friend Nwabudike. This Nwabudike guy will not stop at it, folks. He will not stop. Now, yeah, he is. Yeah, he is again. Yeah, is your man Nwabudike. Sorry, folks. I'm running into some technical problem here. Bear with me. So Nwabudike, when he got expelled, that's what he did. And I don't know if Councillor Frank Musa Din had not come up to rebuke him, whether or not he was going to act. I don't know whether he was going to act by putting by his petition. I'm running into some issues here, so bear with me. So that's what happened. That's what happened. And so for Nwabudike to be resigning today, the president of Liberia, he's not in any moral standing to tell us anything. No. Many people have called on him to act. This was like a low-hanging fruit. There was evidence everywhere that this man lied. The man defrauded our entire system of government. The man lied to him. And even the lie the man told, President Weah will not see the lie for reason best known to him. He will not see that lie. Folks, the rise and fall of Nwabudike. So Nwabudike now is on the fall. And what is he doing? We have gathered information that is yet to be independently verified by Focus on Liberia, that this guy in Nwabudike, who is on his way out, he doesn't want to go down alone. And he is trying to investigate, or he's not trying, he's investigating an opposition figure so that he can go down with the opposition figure. I don't know what's the rationale in this. I have no idea what he's up to here. Credible information reaching Focus on Liberia that has not been independently verified is that he is investigating while he is on his way out. He is on his way out because he lied to our system of government. He has no legitimacy to have been appointed in the first place, least to talk about having served for that time. And now this is a guy, after submitting a letter of resignation, saying that he's investigating another person for crime, for violation of laws. This guy, seriously? And this government is allowing that to happen because the person they are investigating is an opposition. This is a government that got caught pants down. The president will not act. The president will not demand this guy resignation. Not until students at the University of Liberia have to go and protest. Maybe this guy's life felt threatened. That is why now he's leaving, and he's not just going alone. The information has not been verified independently by Focus on Liberia. But what we are learning is this guy is trying to investigate. He's trying to investigate Musability. That is the information that reaching us. And folks, please, the information has not been independently verified. Okay, so we are just trying to say the information, again, we are making a disclaimer here, has not been independently verified. That this guy is saying he will not go down alone. So he is investigating Musability. He want to go down with somebody. And this government is allowing that to happen because should this information be true, Ability is an opposition. That is what they are up to here. Folks, Austin Ndubuisi, had it not been the likes of Abraham Daros DeLong, who stood firm, and people call him the light, whatever light he is, your guess is as good as anyone else. Some call him the light. Some people call him Chinese light. Some people are crediting Daros DeLong. He was able to take a stand this time, and some other senator joined him. And and they said, no, we can't happen because this guy slipped through the very Senate when he got appointed to LACC. Meton Tiages was on that commission, but the very Meton Tiages who takes a little bit of a reasonable stand, and all because other forces that Daros DeLong got in there. And so Austin Ndubuisi Nwabudike is on his way out. He's falling. He's falling with disgrace. This guy should be prosecuted. This guy should be prosecuted. And this is a guy who is leaving and walking as a free man. We will see. And maybe that should be the next advocacy on this issue. This guy can't come and work in Liberia by occupying positions that have been set aside by our system of government for Liberians, lied, obtained Liberian citizenship fraudulently, serve, and then leave with no penalty. And he is the one who's trying to investigate somebody to penalize them for a crime. And according to the information coming in, he's investigating this guy, Hassan Belete, for things that happened in 2010, 2011, and thereabout. But this guy cannot investigate the Unity Party that was in government today. He can't investigate Unity Party. He cannot investigate Unity Party. Can you imagine that? And this guy want to investigate somebody else. Somebody is bothering me here. Somebody is bothering me here. Hold up, folks. Why are folks calling like this? Sorry, folks. So this is the guy. This is why you want to. So at this time, I'm going to open the phone lines here. Bear with me. Let me open the phone lines so I will allow you to participate. So some people might be able to give credit to A.B. Daros DeLong. Folks in cyberspace, this is Focus on Liberia. My name is Anthony Sear, and I'm bringing you here the hour of politics. And the topic I have been discussing, analyzing, and breaking into pieces for you is the rise and fall of Austin Ndubuisi Nwabudike. So there you have it. Let me connect the phone lines here quickly. Let me connect the phone lines quickly so that you can participate. All right, folks, the phone lines are connected. It is about time for you to call and participate. I am waiting for you right now. I am waiting for you to have your say in this topic. I have my time. Sorry that I took about an hour, actually 48 minutes, to lay it all out and break it down for you. It is about time for you to call in and participate. If you so wish, my system here for some reason is just reading. I can't even read my comments. This is just killing me, folks. Oh, Lord. I can't even read comments. System is freezing. So, folks, but I will be able to take your calls. I see that the broadcast is still running despite this technical glitch that I'm having right now. I cannot do anything else, but I may be able to take your calls. So please get your calls coming, or else we will be ending this broadcast. I really want to read comments. I see about 75 comments on my system for some reason here. Dennis Jai, if you are following me here, I need some help. My system, the system is freezing, and right at my end here is just loading and loading. I can't click anything else. So Dennis, if you are there, you want to come and give me some backup here by reading some comments. All right, I see a caller. Let's see whether we will be cool here with this. The man Kesali Double, welcome to Focus on Liberia. I think you are live.
Yes, thank you very much, Anthony. Thanks again for Focus on Liberia on the show. The topic today, I want to say thanks for your analysis. We've discussed this thing, we've talked this thing, why it's true that we are glad that he's leaving, but I think the whole thing is related. And we want to blame the Senate. Why it's true, I want to give some credit to Senator Abraham Darrell Dillon, but I think we should be giving more credit to our Nigerian brother. You can remember you hosted him on your show?
Right.
That Nigerian brother who told you who the whole criminal Nwabudike was, how he sold his ship,
right,
when he was trying to buy a ship and all of that.
all of that.
That brother was the one who brought the entire story on the Nwabudike issue. He even opened our eye before we started posting issue on it.
Right.
So I want to say thanks to him, and I hope he can bring it on the show so that we all can actually appreciate now that this criminal is leaving our backs. And it is sad, that the government president, sometimes we don't get these things. And when people talk, others come out and say that people don't like the president. The moment this Nwabudike issue came out, the justice minister was clear on this issue. He was very clear. Everyone who has said that right and then the president, we are taking action, the Senate would have come in to declare the man personal non-granta, declaring in a government bone.
Yeah.
But they waited for this law. Who knows the damage that has been created? And my next advice to them would be not just allowing them to just resign and leave, but instead you should be persecuted. The man took our system, how he got all the birth certificates and everything, how he got his library degree, the master degree from the law school and everything. He should be persecuted for it. He should not be allowed to go free. I hope they would not just allow him to just resign and just leave the system like that. He should pay for everything so that the next time others who are coming after him would know that when you come and do the system, this is what's going to happen to you. I hope they will not just let him go free. Thank you very much, Anthony.
Thank you. Yep, that was the voice of Cllr. I think he's spot on. This guy committed serious crime. And if you look at the time period that this guy has been on this commission of crime, it's huge. I mean, this guy who said he got his citizenship in 1982, so since 1982, this guy has been in violation of our laws. This guy. And this is a guy you think should go free, who should not be persecuted. This guy has been given the privilege to investigate all Liberians. This guy has been given the privilege to investigate Liberians when he is not or has not been a Liberian. This is a serious crime. This guy lied to our court. This guy lied to the law, lied to the bar. And he's going to leave and resign and nothing happens. Those in the CDC, are you listening to this? This is a man who lied to the whole government, lied to your president you care about so much. He appointed this guy 4 different times, served in positions in Liberia as a Liberian when he's not, has investigated Liberians, enjoyed the privilege and benefits of Liberians when he has not been. And you think this guy should go free? There should be no prosecution? There has to be a serious investigation. The one being done by the Senate alone is enough. Sometimes I wonder why Musa Dean is wasting time. He said it all, that there's no record anywhere that this guy acquired a Liberian citizen at any time in his lifetime, legitimately. No. So he is a criminal. As though obtaining a Liberian citizenship fraudulently is not enough, he will go on and lie that he's a Liberian and being appointed many times and serve in high-profile positions. And this is the guy you want to just leave. And while he was purporting as a Liberian, he got married to a Nigerian woman as a Nigerian. This guy will not even marry a Liberian. And so this is a guy now that have tendered his resignation, and his resignation takes immediate effect on the 26th of February. And he doesn't want to go down alone. He is investigating a Liberian who is an opposition figure, in person reportedly, Musa Bedete, so that Musa can go down with him. This man, I don't get it. I just don't get it. Folks, I think I'm going to close this broadcast. I really want to read comments, but the system at my end here is freezing, and I'm calling my man Dennis for help. Dennis is at work, so I understand, but I really need help here. Dennis, you need to come in here. My system is freezing. Okay, I see Dennis has come here. Dennis, my system is frozen. I see that you're displaying the comments, but I can't read them as well. My browser it says it's not responding, so I can see half of the comment. I can't see the other half because I'm trying to share something, and this happened. And so all you do, just show the comments, and when you just show them one by one, I see you displaying the one from Judy Ashmore. It just said Nwabudike should be arrested. That's the only portion I can read. The other portion, while I was trying to share, cover it. So continue to display the comments. And after you display some, we will end the broadcast. I will ask you to end it and when to end it. So, folks, yeah, I have some comments there that my partner has come to my rescue here because of this little glitch with the technology. I mean, it would have been brilliant for me to have the ability to be able to read these comments, and also try to respond to them a little bit, to make them juicier, for these things to be a little more interactive. So my partner Dennis Jai is showing the comments. Read for yourself after he shall have, shown enough comments. We will just call it a day. So that's the story of Nwabudike, the rise and fall of Nwabudike. I just hope that the senators will recommend a prosecution of this guy. This guy can't go free like this. I just hope this guy will be prosecuted. Let Liberia for once hold somebody accountable for committing a crime at this magnitude. Let for once hold somebody accountable. Can you imagine this? This is a president who can hold a man accountable who lied to him, lied to all our institutions, milk the system. This guy is not a brother. This guy is not a crewman. This man is not a sedition. He can't even act on him. And some of you want to believe that this man is going to conduct a reshuffle in government that will see the lives of 12 and Mange, who are the major problem to the government, to get out of this government. You are dreaming. A low-hanging fruit, someone who the Senate caught. You can't even deal with him. You can't even deal with a man. Not 12 years ever. In fact, the president brain is Samuel 12. I don't see how an individual can get so radical to the point that they will pull his own brain out and be brainless. Yes, when it comes to governance, 12 is his brain. His other brain is Mr. McGill. This is just annoying. And so, folks, those of you who have been hoping some way, somehow, that this guy in person of Mr. Nwabudike will be persecuted, let us wait and see. And those of you who have been wishing some way, somehow, that President Weah will be able to act by replacing other officials who are not giving results, who are not producing, who are not performing, wait and see. Wait and see. This is an individual who lied to the whole government, who lied to him. He can't even fire this man. That man should have been fired a long time. All the calls, everything fell on deaf ears. Mr. Jha, thank you so very much for coming to my rescue here, partner. Since we don't have another calls, get ready to roll in our closing song. Get ready to hold our closing song. So, folks, let me close like this. The rise and fall of Nwabudike is one of those stories in Liberia that presents an opportunity for all as a nation and leaders who are in charge now to show some semblance of accountability. And not because this gentleman is of Nigerian descent. It's because there is wrong that has been committed here. The vicious cycle of impunity, we must be able to break it. We have to do it. This president came to power and told us that though corruption is a way of life in our country, but wherever he finds corruption, the law will take its course. These are the words of our president. And here is a low-hanging fruit. Somebody who has already destroyed himself by lying on an oath in the Senate. He has done the job for our president to just fire him or demand his resignation the very day those pieces of information came out, showing that this man had 4 different birthdays, that this man's citizenship is completely fake, and that he has acquired the citizenship when he was age 17 in violation of our laws. You can only apply for naturalization in Liberia when you are age 21. That was not the case with this guy. And so he should not have been admitted into the bar. So he should not have been given the legal blessing to practice law in our country. He should not have been appointed as a Liberian. So these are the lies and fraud this guy committed. All came down just one day. The National Bar will add to expel him. The Justice Minister at least will add to say this guy there's no record. The immigration will search their record and will say, no, there's no record here. Thereby making the thing so easy for our president to say, Mr. Man, you have to leave and you must leave now. Our president will not do it. And even credible information that we have received is because the newly accredited ambassador of the United States to America at some point registered that he will not like to see this guy in person of this fraudster, Nwabudike, being at that job. Maybe this is the reason why the president we are is reluctantly accepting this guy's resignation. And we want to recommend that this guy be investigated and prosecuted, face the full weight of the law, and be deported to Nigeria for lying and defrauding our system of government. Folks, thanks for watching. As always, focus on Liberia. We educate, we elevate, and promote all things Liberia. Our closing song that unites us. We are all Liberians. Will close us. Bye-bye, folks.
We are